Okay, so this is going to be a very quick ed puzzle, all multiple choice. We'll be able to blast through it in no time at all, in which we practice our indirect statement translations with these sentences. Please note that all of these sentences essentially say the same thing. It's just a matter of sometimes they have a passive infinitive, amatam esse, perfect passive, amatam ire, future passive, and amawisse, perfect active. So some are active, some are passive. Please review really quickly our infinitive forms. Agere, agi, and here in the indirect statement, remember, we will not be translating like infinitive because they are going to be the verbs of a clause, and they will have subjects as accusative. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these infinitive translations. Remember, the whole key is present infinitives occur the same time. Perfect infinitives, the action is going to occur before the introductory verb, and future infinitives, they are going to occur after. So let's take a look at our introductory verbs. It's either going to be sperat or sperabat in every single instance. Now we're having our timeline over here. And remember that the vertical line is going to be the present, everything to the left is the past, and everything to the right is the future. So when we start out with sperat, he hopes, is hoping, does hope. That is different as opposed to yesterday, he hoped, or he was hoping. So let's take a look at the first sentence, in which it says, the teacher sperat hopes, is hoping, does hope, that, and your indirect statement is going to be the part from linguam latinam right there. So magister sperat, it stands on its own. That is the indirect statement. With an accusative subject, linguam latinam, the Latin language, amatam esse, by the students. So, we look at amatam esse. We figure out what kind of infinitive it is, and we know that then it must occur before the action of sperat. If sperat is happening right now, then that means amatam esse is going to be occurring before this present. So it says, the teacher hopes that the Latin language, amatam esse, was loved, has been loved by the students, because that has to be expressed as before sperat, which is right now. Moving on to number 2. The teacher, sperabat, was hoping, hoped. It starts in the past. That the Latin language, amatam iri. Amatam iri is a future infinitive, like actam iri, and as a future infinitive, it is going to occur after the main action. So, on Monday, he was hoping, and today is Wednesday, so on Monday he was hoping that the Latin language, on Tuesday, which is in the past, on Wednesday, which is in the present, on Friday, which is in the future. So how can we express, in English, the possibility of all three? The teacher was hoping that the Latin language, passively, would be loved by the students. Number 3, the teacher, sperabat. Again, we are starting in the past. Was hoping that the students, now how we have amawisse. Amawisse, as you can see over here, is a perfect. It has the perfect stem, amaw, with an isse. And perfect means it happens before. So if we are starting on number 3 in the past, amawisse has to occur before that action of hoping, which was in the past. And so we have to express it as happening in the past. The teacher hoped, was hoping, that the students had loved the Latin language. Number 4, the teacher, sperat, hopes, is hoping, does hope. So we are starting off in the present. That, the Latin language accusative, amari. Amari is a present infinitive, along A-R-E, turns into an A-R-I, but a present passive infinitive. And so, remember, present infinitives happen at the same time. So if number 4, sperat, is happening right now in the present, then amari is right now in the present. So the teacher right now hopes that the Latin language is loved, is being loved by the students. Number 5, the teacher was hoping. Here, you're starting off in the past. Your infinitive is amare. Just like amari, present, but an active infinitive. So, the teacher was hoping, in the past, that the students, amare, at the same time, loved, was loving the Latin language. Accusative subject, infinitive verb, accusative direct object. Loving what? The Latin language. Number 6. The teacher hopes. Right now in the present, the teacher is doing the hoping. Hopes that the Latin language, here is again your future infinitive. Future passive infinitive that you can see over here, the perfect passive participle plus iri. And so it's going to say, the teacher hopes that the Latin language, we are starting off here in the present with sperat. We need the future infinitive to occur after the present, and what is that time period? The future. Make it passive. The teacher hopes that the Latin language will be loved by the students. Number 7, the teacher sperat. The teacher hopes. Sperat, we are starting off right here. The teacher hopes that the students, amaturos esse. That is a future active. You can see acturum esse as a comparison. So as a future active, you know that the action has to happen after. We're starting off in the present, and so the action of loving is going to be in the future, after the present, and so it says, the teacher hopes right now that the students will love the Latin language. The previous one was passive, will be loved. Number 8, the teacher, sperat, hopes right now, is hoping right now, and our infinitive, amare, is a present infinitive, present, same time. So, the teacher hopes that the students love, are loving, do love, the same time as the hoping, the Latin language. Number 9, the teacher, sperabat, was hoping. So we are starting off in the past. And they were hoping, was that teacher, he was hoping, that the students, amaturos esse, they are the same infinitive. Look at the difference of the introductory verb. He hopes that the students will love. He hoped, could be then in the past, could be then in the present, could be then in the future, would love the Latin language. Number 10, the teacher hopes. So we are starting off in the present. Our infinitive, amawisse, is a perfect infinitive, and so the action is going to merely occur before. So if we're starting off in the present, we just merely have to make amawisse before the present, which is the past. And so the teacher hopes that the students loved, did love, have loved the Latin language. 2 more, 11 and 12. Told you this would be short. Number 11, the teacher sperabat, was hoping, hoped. We are starting off in the past. So since we are starting off the past, we look and see what kind of infinitive we have. A present passive, present, same time. So even though it's a present infinitive, we're going to express it as happening in the past at the same time as the sperabat. The teacher hoped that the Latin language passively was loved by the students. And then finally, 12, the teacher sperabat. We are starting off in the past. Hoped, was hoping. Our infinitive is amatam esse, the perfect passive participle plus esse, making for a perfect passive verb. Perfect before. Perfect infinitive is the action before. The teacher hoped that the Latin language, if we're starting off in the past, the only way to go before the past is to go to the past past, and in English that is had. So therefore, the teacher hoped that the Latin language had been loved by the students. So, good luck. Hope this helped.